light going on. You know how you know what a strobe light is?
Yes.
If when he
Fast.
walks into his class and there's a lot of it's like long lasting too because it never stops in there.
You're right.
And it's like all these different strobe lights going everywhere and he can't get acclimated to it because he's so sensitive.
So that's the reason why it's almost a sense where he can't really understand a normal behavior of being in a classroom.
Oh.
And that's the reason why that he gets recommended more than the other children.
Gets reprimanded?
Reprimanded. The reason why they put him on timeout.
Uh-huh.
It's not because he's disobeying, it's just because of the energy.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot. And he's like a sponge and he just gets the energy, he doesn't know what to do with it. And it just kind of goes.
So in other words, it's best for him to be in a small.
And it would be really good if he could take his shoes off because that would help him to ground. He's out of his body. He goes right out. I mean, he gets like high strung or
When he
hyperactive.
gets to school? When he gets to school, you mean? Or just.
Yeah. I mean, in general,
Uh-huh.
does he get worked up easy or almost like, how can I say this? Like
He's very, very sensitive.
wound up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's without his, Joseph got fired for taking his shoes off at work because our boss doesn't understand the strength of the energy, but the more that you can surround him with things that are natural and nature and let him take a break, let him go outside and just be barefoot.
Okay.
I mean, grass, anything like that, that's called earthing.
Uh-huh.
It removes like the static electricity from
see.
you and helps you to center.
Okay.
So far with everything, do you have any questions?
I want to find a solution for him with school. I don't want to take him out of school, but I just feel like, why would I take him back to the school if he's feeling this way? I just feel like right now, I think it's not the best environment for him.
It might be a situation where you start looking at how can you kind of create a lifestyle around him where he can actually thrive. And that way, when he gets in these situations where he's around a lot of more people or around chaotic energy, he'll be able to kind of function in a way that's, where he's able to cope.
Mm-hmm. So last week Thursday or Friday after we left school, because I've been struggling with him, bringing him, he always cry. He wasn't like that before.
So when you bring him there, there's already stuff. It's too much action.
I think so.
Can you tell that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
It's almost like friction going. He can't. He's in a lot of those emotions in there are fear based. So I think he cries because he doesn't know, he doesn't care about it, but he can't connect to it. It's like the vibrations are.
So he's picking up on the vibrations on the other children, because when other kids cry, he tends to cry. And he's got another classmate who's also been having issues wanting to go back to school, but her mother would have, because she has to work. So, and she has a brother. So her brother kind of comforts her when her parents leave her there. My son doesn't have another sibling to be there. But he and her, they go to school. I drop him off when she's being dropped. So we kind of interact a lot more so than the other kids. And I've seen her being upset, not wanting to be in school. He's just more upset. He's like on a, 4th level, or he's screaming, not wanting to go. And what really shocked me was when he told me, "Mommy, I don't like school." He doesn't want to go to that school. So I took him to Maryhill.
Did he explain? Was he able to express what he felt or why?
No, I asked him, "Is everything okay at school?" He just never answered me. When he told me that he doesn't want to go to school and I asked him why, he would not say anything.
I feel like every time I read into it, it's a situation where he feels like he's alone, feels disconnected from everybody. Just doesn't understand what's going on.
But in a way, he doesn't have, you can filter things out if you were to walk into a classroom with 50 people in there, you know how to filter things out. He doesn't. He just feels it all, and it's like a great big rush of emotions and energy, and he just gets hit with it. He doesn't know how. He needs to really, you need a regular routine with him on how to shift his energy and how to like build a barricade. I was thinking even like does he like to dance or turtle around in circles or anything?
A lot.
I think that would work really well for him if you teach him how that, if if you can get him to stand and feel his feet. feel his legs, feel his body. That'll help him be more in it. Or move his hands, stuff like it'll clear his energy. Have him like turn
Spin
around and
around.
twirl around. And when he turns around, if you can help him to picture like he's encasing himself in something that's strong, like plexus, something that you can describe to him.
He loves to spin around, and sometimes when he spins around, he gets dizzy. So I tell him to stop because he will.
Well,
but
I'm
he
not
likes-
talking about too much, but you got to make it fun for him.
Okay.
So
And that way-
remember we talked about creating that bubble.
Yes.
So in terms of when he feels like he's that's another form of a bubble.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a protective shield.
When he does that.
Yeah,
he
that's
does
what you can tell him. We're turn around, and every time you turn around, how can you word it for a kid?
Well, I talked about
It
possibly.
will help his coping mechanisms.
I talked about sometimes I love using crystals because crystals are easy and they're
So
tangible.
I bought some stuff, and I'll show you what I got so you can
Nice.
show me.
And so you can have them take that with them. It's like, okay, when you feel like when you're feeling like you're out of your body, when you're feeling like it's too much, then, go ahead and grab onto your crystal. And it helps kind of reinforce that energy of creating that bubble, that protection, that sense of.
This rhodochrosine works so good. I'm an empath, strong empath.
Say that again. The what?
I'm an empath. I've been dealing with this stuff all my life. But I got this rhodochrosine from work. They told me that it would help, and all I have to do is rub it.
What is it called?
Rhodochrosite, right? Rhodochrosite.
Rhodochrosite.
It works really well too.
Uh-huh.
I think Jasper or
The
Jasper.
blacker stones that we talked about. the
would
black
really help
stones.
to absorb the negativity for him.
I'll take. Okay, never mind. Because I'm recording it, so I can go back and
Sorry.
listen to it. Yeah.
Sorry, it's a lot of information. And
It's okay.
those blacker stones really help him kind of
Come
keep
here,
him
Will, come here.
grounded.
Come here. Say hi to Miss
Can I
Robin.
see what you're doing? Are you building a house and hiding in there? Is this your truck? It's a police car, huh? So shy.
He likes police cars, ambulances, fire trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has one called Trooper, and the other one that you
Yeah,
talking
sheriff.
about? Sheriff, Trooper.
Something else. Because he'd be playing. Sometimes he'd be asking, "Where's my trooper?" I'm like, "They're all the same," but they're not. I tell him they're all the same, but he tells me, I want my trooper. So I give him a police car. He said, "No, that's not my trooper. I mean, that's not the trooper. It's a police car." I'm like,
Does he watch anything like Word Party or?
he loves Work Party.
Good,
a lot
that's
of work.
Good one.
Yeah.
And,
He does Work Party.
there's one on YouTube that my grandkids watch. It's it's really good.
Which one is it? Okay, so there's a lot. So there's Work Party.
It starts with a
VeggieTales.
C.
See.
I'll tell you because I always have this on here for them.
Let's see.
But they teach them. They're moving their body a lot. They're even that one where if you're happy and clap your hands.
Yeah.
That's good because they're physically.
He does that.
I've been out of my body before, and I didn't know that's what was going on, but I was hitting my hand on the brick wall, and the physicalness of that helped me to center in my body, because we're spiritual beings, and we're not used to being confined in these bodies. When something happens that brings the fear up or interrupts our own flow, we automatically want to get out, and that's what he gets all wound up and. He gets anxiety, like hyperactive, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the sign of that. And that's when you can slow him down by helping him sing a song and clap, or, stomp your feet, or whatever it is that gets his body moving in, mind-body connection. That really helps.
So there's a bunch of different techniques that can be done to kind of help him kind of be able to. And that's a lot of information.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, so I'm recording it so I can go back. So in other words, so with the school that he's at right now, I'm very 90% sure that I don't want to bring him back, only because I don't think that he can communicate, or I don't think that his energy is matching with his teacher's energy, maybe, or maybe it's just the class, and I feel like it's not gonna help him if I drop him off crying. I saw her yesterday. She said she was saying that he is taking advantage of me, because you know how kids can psychologically take advantage of you. And I told her it's a lot. It's so much more deeper than that. It's so much more. There's a lot. You know, there's some things going on with
She
him.
doesn't understand at all.
No,
She walks a straight line.
There's a disconnect when it comes to the teachers and it comes to your
I'm
son.
surprised in a Montessori school though.
But you know what's really surprising? Honestly, in the beginning, he was fine. We never had this issue before. Never did since he started. Yes, he would cry when I drop him off because he's never been separated with me.
There's energy changes. Your son is becoming increasingly more and more empathic, and I think what's happening as well. This has to do with the fact that he's able to see.
See?
You see, like actually feel and see beings that maybe that you and your husband aren't able to pick up right now. And it makes it just like if you and I, if me and Robin, it's like a muscle. The more we use it, the more it actually gets more activated. And because he's feeling more, he's seeing more, everything gets enhanced. And so that's the reason why it's kind of been like, it's harder for him to kind of cope now versus earlier.
Okay.
I do feel like this is something where it may be a good opportunity for you to really think about not taking him back, but really focus on actually building a very wonderful environment and adjusting, these different techniques to help him be able to grow. So not just school, because
he needs to be in school. He needs to be out of this house, away from you, so he'll start to learn these skills.
Yeah, but not just school. I'm saying in a sense where it's only going to get stronger, and it's something where if he's able to see an energy in here and that you're not able to pick up, only can feel, that's only going to get stronger. So this is something where he needs to learn those good protection techniques, and this might be a godsend that says, okay, maybe I should take this week off or something, or take the time to kind of just go over this with them, and then try the school thing later on.
See, that's what I'm thinking about. It's just not, because he has an opportunity to go into Mary Hill starting August, which is just tomorrow. But I feel like it's too soon for me to take him from that environment where he was into Mary School, where they have, I think there's
a lot more kids at Mary Hill, isn't there?
Yes. Their ratio is 12-1.
So
and in the class that
what is it at the place you're at now?
It's a Montessori school, and it's a home school.
Right, but how many kids
There's 4 toddlers and 3 babies, but the days of when she has the most kids is different. Some kids go in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, some Tuesday, Thursday, and then some Monday to Friday. He goes in Monday to Friday. He and 4 the toddlers go in Monday to Friday.
First of all, God, please don't take this personally. That is way too much for him. 5 days a week.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's too much. Mm-mm.
So
that's pushing him. I mean,
I see.
I think for him, either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, because that's every time he goes in there, it starts over for him again.
So it's not helping.
He needs time in between to just be, to settle in and be at home.
So that's what we did in the beginning. I started him Monday.
Was he like 8 to noon or something?
No. How she does the Montessori school is, you cannot do 8 to noon or noon to 6. You do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, all day.
All day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So in the beginning, when I started him, he was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I would drop him because he's so new to going to school in a different environment, and he's never been separated from me for that amount of time. So we got him in part-time, and I would pick him up at 12, and then 2-3 weeks later, I got him in full-time Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all day. And then eventually we got him, I think 2 months later, we got him in full-time Monday to Friday, all day.
I think from 8 to 3. And it also has to do with the timing of where he's at in his own little process. It's way too much time. I would say cut him back. I would cut him back to, if you're going to start somewhere new,
he needs the time.
3 days a week would be more than enough. That's too long. I mean, if you wanted to take him from like 8, what time do they take a nap there?
12. So I can bring him in, right? The options that I was given at Mary Hugh is I could bring him in from 6 to 12 and then from 12 to 6. If I bring him in the afternoon, he's going to have to take a nap. So I'm like, okay, that's not going to work, because sometimes he takes naps, sometimes he doesn't. If he's going to take a nap, it's usually like 2. So I'm like, I can bring him in the morning, maybe from 7 to 12 or 8 to 12, and that allows me to work from home.
Is that enough time for you, though?
It's not, but I can work around it because I can get up and work earlier during the day because I've got East Coast clients. So what I've been doing a lot lately is I would work while he's sleeping. So I get up by 5 and work through like 7 or 8.
So you went to 5 days a week because you need to be able to work?
No, it was because we decided that we should give it a try full time. And plus, she recommended him to go in full time.
He's
It's too much for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he
Yeah.
needs peace in
Okay.
between. He needs space, and I actually, God, I wish there was some way you could go
And then I
from
also
like 9 to 2 or 10. I mean, 9 to 2 or something. Even
I
9
can-
to 3, but
uh-huh, 9 to 3.
that's too long.
So even though he's in full time at the monastery, when I drop him up, I bring him in at 9, and sometimes I pick him up as early as 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I allow him to take his nap so that when he comes home, he's already waking up from the nap. The latest I'll pick him up is like 4:45, but I've never really allowed him to be in school 8 hours. I'm always picking him up early. As soon as I know that I've done much, for that day, I'll go pick him up as early as 3 o'clock, 3:30.
I think 5 or 6 hours,
Is enough?
especially in a new place, he's not ready for that.
Okay.
You need to teach him these skills first. Don't you agree?
I agree. He needs
It's
to,
too much.
That's why I feel like this might be a godsend. He's giving you a good old fashioned. I need to pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a situation where he needs to. He's growing. His abilities are growing, and he's an amazing little guy. And this is something where he's going to need these skills in order to really be able to function.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't want to make it sound like he has a disease, but
No, he doesn't. He's just.
he's really
It's
gifted.
this is like new energy that we're into. The whole universe. I mean, the atmosphere isn't a different thing. He's playing in a place where he doesn't recognize what's happening either. How long has he been in that school?
Since September last year. He started September part-time, and then October.
In 2018?
Yes.
And then when did you go on vacation?
We went on vacation. We were gone since January of last year. We came back in July. Then we were home from July up until, we haven't left yet. We've just taken a short vacation, but we were gone for 7 months. We went back home to Saipan, which is back on the island. Then we came here.
There's not as much pressure there, huh?
No,
It's really
everybody's laid back. It's my whole entire family's on here. Everyone here.
That's why he did well there, huh?
Very well, yeah.
That's why
Mom's planning on going back, so that's the good thing about it.
the energy shift between that
Uh-huh.
nice, peaceful, loving
And,
place
very
where
loving.
there's loyalty and
Yes.
love,
Water,
and
it's
then
an island.
this.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And
I mean,
it's an island. It's surrounded by water too.
Yeah.
honey, you know what a narcissistic people are, don't you?
Yeah, selfishness, yeah.
There's a lot of. We have, because this country tends to overextend themselves, and we strive for other people, making things the way people work. We don't take care of ourselves the way they do there. For him, that's a really nice place to be.
Back home on the island?
Yeah, because there's not so much pressure.
Yeah,
People
that's true.
aren't angry and frustrated and pissed off when they're trying to get to work.
Yeah.
Here, people
It's different.
we become narcissistic because people here are rushing around. They don't get their needs met.
Yeah.
They're not. There's a lot of fear energy
Yeah.
here, which is hard for him.
Yeah, back home, my whole entire family's there, so it's really different. There's a lot of love. And even though, it's different here because
I get
back home,
loyalty.
loyalty. There's a lot of loyalty.
There's a lot
And
of connection when it
Yes.
comes to people.
Deep connection, roots. That's the kind. He's grounded there.
They're all. You can see the.
Did you
connection.
notice the difference in him when he was there compared to here?
yeah, very, very
I
different.
love it.
There was when we came back, I knew that he missed home, especially my brother John, because my brother John watched him when I went back to work, and so they're very, very close. Thankfully, we have video chats because they video chat a lot. But he's mentioned he wants to go home. I know in my heart that is the place for him because it's secure. There's a security that he gets from my family. Here, it's just me and him and his dad, and every now and then we see my in-laws. But it's like you said, everybody has to work because there's so much demand. So there isn't really that. We don't really spend a lot of time. Back home is on a daily basis. Every single day I see my parents. Every single day I see my brothers. He sees his cousins. Plus, my mother takes care of my grandmother, so everyone in the family, my parents is like a hub. That's where everybody goes. There's a lot of loyalty. There's a lot of
There's a lot
joy
of
and happiness,
connection.
and you know, it's a very small island. I'm very, very limited when it comes to material stuff or products or whatnot. But I think for me, growing up there and bringing him there and seeing how much the material stuff don't matter because we have family, it really is very different. You can be on the island, like you said. There's ocean. The ocean's right there. The beach is only 5 minutes away from home, and he goes to the beach a lot. In the beginning, he didn't really like the sand, the feeling of the sand on his feet, but eventually he got used to it. The same thing with grass or pebbles, but he got used to that. But the fact that everybody's there is
Well, it's like nutrients for him. I mean, he's just not your normal run-of-the-mill kid that, you can say go outside and play and, kick him out and let him play for. He is so sensitive. It's
He's an empath.
It's sad. I mean, I know that I would see it as having to sacrifice for my child, but
yeah.
I'm sure it's better for you. It would be better for you too, because I know
I feel like,
you need a break.
yeah, I do. I feel like I'm losing part of myself being home, but when I think about him, he comes before me. I don't want to lose myself entirely to the point where I cannot be on my own to support him. You know what I mean? His father's very supportive, but I don't want to put.
No, you're headed in the right direction.
Okay.
You need to. That's absolutely. You need to be number one first. Yep.
We talked about this multiple times.
Mhm.
That's a situation where while you were talking, I kept getting something. I think the bubble up thing or the protection thing is really key because your son is definitely a light. I don't know. Do you feel an energy around him? Because I don't feel like it's connected to the house. I feel like the house holds energy, but I feel like he's such a light that things tend to follow. Does that?
It doesn't. It's not necessarily negative. I don't want you to think it is, but
Yeah.
I work with nurses and doctors and healers that children are light and love, and I've even worked with kids have opened up portals and brought in other kids and animals and stuff, and it was actually a cop, and he couldn't sleep at night because the spirits, little kids, were running up and down the halls, and she felt like her mom and dad would take care of them. That's why she kept bringing them in, and they came to me. But he's more of, he does have a block there.
He does a block.
Yeah, where he blocks things he doesn't want to have. He can't see what it is that he doesn't feel safe.
It just.
He's picky. He is picky. He's
Yes,
choosy
he
about
is.
what he lets in. You get that?
I get that.
In his
But
room.
at the same time, I also feel like this energy that's around him is persistent.
But I feel like
but I don't
it's
feel
a
like it's-
caretaker energy.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like this might be grandfather or
it's a
something.
You
caretaker
mentioned that it was a man, right? So I do have a grandfather who passed. I've had two grandfathers that passed away.
It's somebody who doesn't want anything from you. It feels like somebody who's following him around, making sure he's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Like
you're-
just.
my
Yeah.
grandfather. Because you mentioned that when we first met.
I just don't. He's just not quite aware of what.
So
Has he
can I-
ever made any remarks about what it is?
He's it's giving me goosebumps because before it was never really an issue for me because even I growing up I haven't had I hadn't had an incident, but growing up I will often see families that passed away in my dreams relaying messages to my family. In the beginning when I started telling my parents, they were not very supportive because they didn't but eventually something did happen. Some family member that came to me on my dad's side I've never met. In fact, he passed away when he was only 17 or 18, and he showed me exactly what happened, the story behind him and the accident and my uncle, and I told my father and I told my uncle that was with him that night, and I relayed the messages. I'm like, my father finally believed me that these things do happen to me. Long story short, I've never felt anything in here way before I had him. My brothers have said that sometimes they feel like they're being watched, and so is my mom. But I've never
In here.
Yeah, But I've not had that feeling until just recently when he started saying "mommy." You know, it's like, oh my God, is he just because he watches some shows or some cartoons have ghosts in it, and that's when he started saying ghost. But lately, it's been like, "Mommy, somebody's there. Mommy, you know, mommy this, mommy that. There's a ghost out there," and I'm
It's
like,
the house.
that thing frightens me. But since I've met you, I've learned how not to allow it to impact me. It's
Because
just
you're creating your own protection. It's the prime number one when you, especially for mediums, and I'm gonna call you a medium. Because
I
you're
know. I
feminine.
was just gonna say that.
I'm gonna call you a medium,
uh-huh.
where it's an energy where.
Do you understand what a medium is?
Yes and no. So
It's somebody who can speak or see. You, you're crossing over and picking up information from them and
Yes.
bringing it to you through your dreams.
okay,
Um,
okay,
it's something where you're learning to put your own protection up. What I've learned from mediums is that if you don't allow your vibration, your energy to kind of build down to that lower vibration that a lot of trapped energy can be at, a lot of trapped beings or souls are passed on, and you stay at a high vibration, they can't affect you. And so that's another form of kind of protection, putting that bubble up. I know I have my bubble up, I know I'm safe, so I'm okay. And so that's the perfect thing to teach him. I don't ever feel like it's the house. I feel like it's him. I feel like it's following.
It's a mature.
Can I ask you guys
He's
something?
over focused. He's over focused on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, growing up,
Ooh, this is dynamite.
and I wanted to ask you this because my mother and I had a conversation, and she asked me to kind of like, wow, I never thought of it. So when I was back home before I left home, there was we call it Magalahi, which is an ancient spirit back home, that had been following me all my life. He's sort of like from what my parents had told me, is that he was a protector for me.
Like a guard. A guide.
Yeah, like a
guide though.
So
too.
he's really big. So our our ancient Chamorros back home are huge. I've seen his figure, like his silhouette, but I've never seen like his actual face. He's really big, stocky, round kind of. His hair is, like curls, nappy curls, but kind of round, like like black. When black people comb their hair, kind of like that. Now I never knew that I had him with me, or he's always with me, until I went through an experience myself, and my mother had to take me to a witch doctor, or shaman is what they call them here. That's how we found out. So I never knew that he
What made you go there?
I got sick for a while, and I couldn't even eat or consume anything. When my grandmother saw me, my grandmother told my mother, and my auntie told me that they need to take me to a shaman because maybe a spirit was following me, or somebody had cast a spell on me. And so when we went, they told my mother that one of my ex-boyfriends at that time had put a perfume or some kind of ointment on me and had left it on my parents' property. So no, they said, I don't know if it's potion or not, but it was sort of like a spell of protection. And there's an old spirit that was protecting me that's fighting this whatever spell. And that's what the lady said. So.
I mean, you're definitely connected to energy. You're definitely connected to beings that are not of this realm. You're definitely a medium, and I don't. It's a growing ability, and I don't know if you're truly aware of it just yet. It comes and goes. The idea of what a medium is, I think it's been blown out of proportion from what TV makes it. You're able to feel when I'm gonna call them spirits. When spirits are around, your son is a medium too, and I definitely feel like there's an energy that's around. It's around both of you, but it's mainly him. That is of a kind of like a watcher energy.
Yeah.
Not like a creepy watcher, but more so a sense of like a sense of like there's wings, angel wings, or protection around. Now, he's just, because he's figured everything out, he doesn't quite understand.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's a sense of not wanting to be by himself. That's one portion of it in the room.
Yeah.
He's wanting to actually find you.
Yeah, he's always like, what really shocks me is, I guess as he grows, right, I just see changes in him. Because before he could sleep in the bedroom while I'm working or cleaning in the kitchen or getting breakfast ready, or like in the middle of the night if he goes to sleep early. He would sense when I'm gone. And I would go use the restroom in the middle of the night, like 3, 4, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the next thing he's coming right behind me. I'm like, wow.
You know what it feels like? This is what I was just going to tell you. You just confirmed it. I think she's enmeshed with him energetically, which means if you protect yourself, you're protecting him as well. But you know do you know what codependency is?
Yeah.
That's what's going on with him. You're the mother and the child thing.
Yeah.
I used to be I could be in my living room. My dad and I were enmeshed like that. And I could feel my dad he couldn't get out of the bedroom unless I brought him. But I could feel him wanting to see me, wanting me to come in there. And I'd be out there going, okay. You know, even though he wasn't saying anything, it's that rush of energy that would make me feel like, oh, I gotta go in there.
Yeah.
He needs me. He's that sensitive to you. Where if you get up and leave, he picks it up immediately. He's very pliable. He's not flexible, but he wants you
and
to
he's
be
asleep.
right
How
there.
does he know I left? That happened early this morning.
So I think that thing that you said, you're extremely sensitive as well.
Yes.
You do need to keep that sense of who you are. Like in between being a mother, you're a person. In between being a wife, you're a person. You have to be happy about you and on your own. You have that own individual sense of person, and you have to teach him to do that too. Because believe me, he wants to be in your body if he could get in with you.
My son, yeah. So when he says that, Mommy, there's somebody there, what's the best approach to, like what I've told him before, it's okay, don't worry about it.
It's teaching him to kind of, so like he kind of went over to kind of his hiding space.
Yeah.
Have him do that, energetically. Hey, remember how we talked about, if you feel something's around you, put the bubble up.
Yeah.
And it's just that energetic
Teach
idea.
him to turn around in a circle 3 times and to take, how can you say it to a little kid? Take a magic bubble and, those bubble wands?
Yeah.